This time on Graveyard Carz. The Hills will be here soon to pick up their 1970 Plymouth Superbird.
Mark, how much time for the cars got to go down the road?
2.5 weeks.
Wow.
The final assembly has started, and we're firing on all cylinders. We need to install the remaining decals, the wing, the bumper, taillights, license plate lights, emblems, the seats, and we need to get the motor running. We also need to install the heater box and dash for the convertible Barracuda. We have a lot to do and we will get it done. Find out on this episode of Graveyard Carz.
Got that car coming to get you, Barbara.
The unburied dead are coming back to life.
I'm Mark Warman, and together with the most critical man in the world, Darren Kirkpatrick,
Give me a gun!
my son-in-law Josh,
Oh, yeah!
and my best friend Roy,
Well, all right.
we bring dead muscle cars back to life, to exactly the way they were on the day they were born, if we don't kill each other.
Here. It's going to be a bloodbath. Hi, Mark.
Happy with yourself?
Well, things are going okay out in the shop.
Guess who called me? Mike from AMD called.
Oh,
Wanted to
yeah,
let
I
me
remember.
know that one of the parts that I ordered a few weeks ago is on back order. They just found out they were expecting it to come in
Hard
the
to find
container.
a good vendor.
Yeah, there's a rear valance for a 70 Challenger RT with tips.
So they made a mistake.
And he said, no.
Oh.
It says, this one is ordered by, and he looks and he goes, well, the guy wrote it down wrong. He says, that's funny, ha ha ha, and he laughs and he says, the guy that took the order wrote down Mark Woman. I don't think he wrote it down wrong, I said, I think somebody ordered parts. And then I found out he used my card.
Hi, John. This is Mark at Graveyard Cars.
Hi.
Need to put in an order there, toilet bowl head.
You don't order parts on my card for your car. That's not in the budget, and I got bad news, sports fans.
What?
It's never gonna be in the budget. Don't ever order parts without my authorization again, okay? You're outside the circle of trust. This O is the circle of trust. This is you over here, the trademark. You're way down here in the corner. Now, why don't you take your bug eyes, your 2 little Woodstock marks between them, your 3 eyebrows, the 4 sparse ones on the left side, your bird ears, your bird lips, and the creamsicle mustache and beard, the weird receding hairline, the wire brush hair, and the crow's feet coming off the side of your face, and you need to go out there and do something that makes me money instead of something that costs me money. One of the problems I have with my job is the up and down, the constant up and down. It's why I look like I'm 100 years old right now, okay? Daren'S in the front, backdooring every good thing that I'm doing by using my car to buy parts for him, for his car. So I gotta go up, find out, cancel the order, chastise him for using my card when he shouldn't be, to go back out in the shop and find out that the aforementioned beautiful vinyl top now has to get rolled back up because it's misshapen around the back plug area.
So what we got going on today is our line on our plug to our factory roof got left a little too sharp, and it was not very attractive looking once the vinyl top was laid down, so we're peeled the top up, hit it with some 80 grit, cut her down, smooth it up, make it look a lot closer to what was supposed to be, and start over.
At Creative Industries, they took a metal plug, they put it in the back window area, they welded it up, they bonded it, and they put a vinyl top over it. So how much did they sand? How much of the style lines did they try to get out of it with Bondo? Did they care that it had a ridge in it? The nice thing about having guys like Tony D'Agostino as a friend and Mike Hill, who has the other Superbird that's already done, is I could call those guys and get pictures. Tony's got a B5 Blue Survivor car that had excellent photos showing what the back window area should be shaped like. And it's hard to argue with being an original paint car, but at the same time, it's 40 some years old and that Bondo shrinks back. So you kind of got to use, again, a little bit of common sense. What would that have looked like, that actual area under the vinyl top, if that Bondo was standing up tall like it was brand new again?
Hi, Brian.
Hey, Darren,
Brian,
how
is
you
that
doing?
right?
Brian, yes. I told you I'd bring him.
How you
I knew
doing?
you'd
I'm sorry.
wanted to see him, buddy. While the guys are wrapping up the Superbird and getting ready for the deadline on that, I'm going to go hone my skills in with Brian at AMCO while he's building Kimberly Cook's little 727 torque flight that goes in her 70 Barracuda 383 two-barrel.
My name is Brian Sutherland. I'm the owner here of AMCO Transmissions in Springfield. Been here, initially started here myself in 1979. We specialize in transmission repair and powertrain.
It was really enjoyable to watch Brian show me some of the things that he was doing as a builder.
We soak the clutches and the bands. Soaking them gets the air out of them. If they get hot with air in them, they can burn pretty quickly.
How long they've been soaking?
3 or 4 hours.
Here's the deal about Graveyard Cars, just like any other shop in the country. We're not perfect, okay? In the case of our back window plug, there was a certain amount of filler that gave it a certain shape. That's why the vinyl tops were mandatory on these cars, because that area usually wasn't finished off very well with this plastic filler. It's kind of like the Invisible Man. Until you pour paint on them, you can't see him. So until we got the vinyl top on the car, we couldn't see that the shape was off from what a correct Superbird should look like.
So this is the output shaft. This is the governor here.
Yep.
The governor basically tells the transmission how fast you're going. As it spins between pressure inside here and these valves wanting to go out because it's
Centrifugal
spinning,
force.
centrifugal force pushes them out. And then that tells the valve body how fast you're going, makes the shifts.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put a couple,
Just walk that
so
in
that just
there.
drops right
Nice.
into place. Once it's down all the way, we're good to go. This hub goes in, it carries the low planet. This is the planetary here.
Okay.
This would be the hub, ring gear that goes around the planet. Drive shell and sun gear, it then goes in. Another set of planets, washer goes on it as well. And then these two go together.
I know an automatic transmission is pretty intricate, but it's actually pretty simple in how it works. And it was very interesting in how it all went together and everything. I was actually quite impressed.
You know, Brian at AMCO and AMCO in general has been really good to us. They do a good job on their transmissions, they guarantee them. It's like the Superbird. I feel good that Mike and his son are going to drive that car all the way back to South Carolina with a transmission that is guaranteed anywhere in the country.
Well, if we end up with hitting metal before we get too far, then we have to a little body filler here and there to make up the difference, just as the factory did. But we'll still get her done as planned, on time to be delivered.
You know, anytime anything has to be redone, that does slow us up here at Graveyard Cars, and that does set us back a little bit in the time frame for when the car is supposed to be done. That's just common sense. Everyone knows that.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put these sealing rings on here. These sealing rings seal the direct drum to the stator. So the pressure again goes in between the two sealing rings through the drum and applies the clutches. You put a pressure plate in, then a clutch, then a steel. Put the right amount in it, you should have a friction on the top, and then you will have another pressure plate, one of those thicker ones,
Yep.
on the top.
Gotcha.
And we just lock it in place. So now I'm gonna slide the direct drum over the forward drum. It just splines the clutches.
Okay, right.
They spline onto this hub right here.
Gotcha.
Get this locked in here. And what I'm doing here is I'm splining in the clutches onto the forward clutch hub. And then the direct drum actually splines and locks right into the drive shell right here. Yeah, the front pump assembly, I just basically slid it in and it goes inside the direct drum and over the top of the forward, the input shaft on the forward drum.
Okay.
Now, if this turns, we're good. We're good to go.
Awesome.
So that's the basic transmission put together.
Very informative, very
All
informative.
right, thank you. Glad I could help.
Am I?
You are.
Okay. All right, let's go home.
We're done?
Yeah.
But we're going to dinner, aren't we?
No,
not?
we're gonna
Are you
wrap
buying?
up.
No, you were
you've done
buying.
this before.
By
You
Carz.
gave him the permission.
No, he's making up stuff.
Got the dash all unpacked. Turned out it's for a Mark and Elena's CUDA, not Kimberly Cook's.
Time to get even here a little bit.
Now that things are finally cleared up with Darren and the Superbird back window plug issue is fixed, our transmission is back from AMCO for the 383 two-barrel, we can focus on some of the decals and installing the iconic Superbird wing. Right now we're getting ready to put some pieces and parts on our Superbirds. We get to put the wing on it, the wing decals, the big decal that goes down the side that calls out Plymouth.
Mark, how much time for the car's got to go down the road?
2.5 weeks.
No, really, how long?
2.5 weeks.
Wow. Mark and the client, they always set these deadlines. A lot of times they're pretty hard to meet. We couldn't set this one back because the people had already bought their plane tickets. They were going to be on a certain date. What made it even worse, they were going to drive the car back home. But this one had to be roadworthy. That's quite a challenge, truthfully.
Mike and his son are going to make a road trip. Michael is graduating high school, going to college. This has been a monumentous thing that they have planned for the last 3 years that I know of. So we need to make sure, number one, that the car's done on time, and two, that it's had a few miles under its belt. Bottom line, I need to get the car done 2 or 3 days before they get here so I can drive it up and down Main Street, drive it to the hill, drive it home, drive it out the highway, try to get all the bugs and the little things out of the way so it doesn't happen to them halfway between here and South Carolina.
You know, I understand some of these cars do have deadlines, and they're real deadlines, but sometimes some things happen, they're out of our control. So Mark needs to talk to people, say, hey, we need to set this back a few weeks because of these problems we've had. So I think really the worst thing that a client wants is for us to be rushed.
In the case of the wing on the Superbird, you've got a wing that's kind of heavy and awkward and bulky, so you've got to make sure that when you set that down, it's aligned with the holes in the top of the quarter. It's also got a wing washer, which is a great big bracket underneath there that it has to go down through, that everything is seated down without scratching the top of the quarter, in place, put the nuts on it, and then tighten those down in a way that you watch the top of the quarter to make sure that it doesn't start to pull it down and sink it or crack the filler that's on the top of it or the paint. Putting the wing on these cars, it's kind of like the top layer of the wedding cake. I mean, it's the big one, it's the one that counts. You put that thing on there and all of a sudden, wah, the heavenly, choir starts singing and the glow comes in from behind. I mean, all kidding aside, it becomes a car. It becomes a Superbird. It becomes one of 1,920 original NASCAR program cars.
These cars are just cool. They're very intimidating going down the road. See the big wing up on the back. The nose cone sticking way out there. It's just total cool. I love the decals that go on the Superbird. I think the Plymouth is a little bit too large on the quarter panels. I like the rest of it.
No matter what, at the end of the day, we're putting the most iconic, cool, classic muscle cars together, and we're doing it on our terms. I'm blessed to be able to do what I'm doing now. Things are moving really well on the Superbird. We've got most of the parts that we bought brand new from Mr. Moparts or the used stuff from Tony's are on the car. What's left is just a few items that are outside under the West Coast Metal Building's awning area on shelves that need to be restored. So Darren and I need to go out there, get those pieces rounded up, get them inside, get them detailed, restored, and ready to go on the car. So I want to clean this shelf off here, and I only want stuff back up on this shelf that we're going to be cleaning tonight or tomorrow or the next day and putting on the Bird. Rear bumper's already inside and been re-chromed, and the tail lights are getting ready to go in. We want to put the decals on tomorrow so we can get that part done. There's still things like side markers, headlight rings, and some smaller parts that we need to get in and get them polished and get them ready to go on the car.
They're not marked. Little nuts.
Well, how do you know we're not going to need them?
Because you don't know what they are.
You don't know what they are. Right now, with the move that we're in the middle of, being halfway between 1820 Main and 3654 Catherine, things are just a little bit askew.
This move is a big deal. We have a lot of cars and a lot of parts to move. It is a struggle trying to find the parts for these cars when they may be here, or they may be there, or somewhere in between.
I got brand new flaps from Paddock, so he just sent those. Here's a new lower steering column cover, which Tony makes. Which also reminds me, we've got a bunch of stuff coming in, including your manifolds from AMD.
What do you mean?
That's supposed to be here on
I don't need
Wednesday.
manifolds.
You know, over the years, I haven't had too much trouble with the HP exhaust manifolds, but wouldn't you know, on this car, on this engine, we went through one set with a crack. We get another one, get it all cleaned up, find the exact same one there.
It's cracked.
Have one setting out in the bin, I look at it, it's got a crack in the same spot too. I'm a believer in serendipity. You've got 3 manifolds that are cracked. There's not another one on the place except in a twist of irony, or serendipity if you will. Daren'S car happened to have one on it.
Daren'S original exhaust manifold. Looks great.
Nice. So that's why I borrowed. I will return it when the new ones come in from AMD.
What do you mean, Mark? My manifold's from AMD.
I kind of slipped it up, but that's the problem. See, he's masterful. So he gets me talking BS and not thinking about things, and I just rattle something off. And that's why, children, you should never lie. The exhaust
Where's my manifold now?
Your manifold is on Kimberly's engine.
Maybe we need to take it off Kimberly's engine, but a new one on.
You should try that. You
should
gave Josh permission to take the manifold off.
No, you can't believe anything Josh said. Mark doesn't respect me or my car. Again, he's taking parts off the car when it's supposed to be over Josh's for safekeeping. Not only is he a big fat liar, but Josh is a thief also. How many are gone? 1 or 2?
1. We only needed 1, but I'm buying you 2. So what you should say is thank you. I don't think Darren was upset. I mean, I think things happen, and we all get a little bit wound up. But I mean, I think he handled it pretty good, considering, he borrowed another part off his car. But it was borrowed. It wasn't stolen. That's where I want to make sure everybody understands. There's a big difference between the two. Okay? Borrow, you pay back someday.
I'm going. I've had enough. You know, I come in early. I'm the first one here. I'm the last one to leave. I work Sundays, Saturdays, holidays, weekends. I work all the time. And what does Mark in return? He steals parts off my car some more.
In 1970, what was the horsepower rating on the 383 two-barrel? Was it 230, 275, or 290? The answer coming up after the break. So what horsepower did the 383 two-barrel produce in 1970? The answer is 290. The 318 two-barrel produced 230 horsepower. The 340 four-barrel produced 275 horsepower, leaving the 383 two-barrel producing 290 horsepower. Visit graveyardcars.com to learn more. We're making some really great headway on the 70 Superbird. Now that the wing and some of the decals are installed, we can move on to the other tasks, such as installing the dash in the Cook's 1970 Barracuda convertible. If Daren'S temper tantrums don't throw a monkey in the wrench. Since Kimberly Cook's little Barracuda arrived, we've gotten a lot of work done on it. One of the first things to do is disassemble it, inventory it, document everything that's there. After that, we send it up to our company in Portland who does the metal cleaning, gets stripped down completely to bare metal, comes back to the shop. We installed our PPG DP90 on it at that point. That gives it the protective layer while it's sitting around while we're ordering parts for it or making decisions on what panels get replaced. In the case of the Barracuda, it was a really solid car, so all we had to replace was the trunk floor, rear body panel, and trunk floor extensions. Even the quarters were in good shape. Once that's done, it can go over to the body shop. Body shop guys, they massage everything out. They line up the body panels. They do the primer, the block, make sure everything's flat. It can go in the booth and get painted. That was the next step. We put the PPG EF8 green on the car. We put on enough base coat to cover the car and then 3 coats of the polyurethane clear. After that, it can get wet sanded and buffed. That's the stage we're at right now. Meanwhile, while we've done all that work, we've got the engine and the transmission completely rebuilt and detailed to OEM specs. The rear suspension was completely rebuilt and detailed to OEM specs. They were married together on the K-member and are ready to install in the car. The only thing we've done since then is Royal and Darren have located, disassembled, and started to do the cleanup work on the convertible top mechanism.
Right now, Josh and I are going to put the new heater box in from Classic Auto Air in the Cook's Barracuda. Okay. Get that end.
Ah, looky there.
It's got bolts on it. This is the second one we've gotten from Classic Auto Air. They do nice work. Nice. It even comes with that pad on it.
Nice.
That's how that pad goes.
Good.
This will be a nice little break from Darren hounding me about driving my Jeep.
Mark is a fat mouth and a cheat. You know, he's just a backstabber. Him and Royal both are backstabbers. You know, I was pretty down the dumps when I found out Mark had taken my manifold and our manifolds. So I needed something to cheer me up. And guess what? There's that Royal Jeep with the keys in it. So I decided I'd just take a Jeep for a little joyride. I didn't think he'd ever find out about it, truthfully. Might as well take it for the ride I never got, the drive I never got to do. This whole thing about driving Royal's Jeep started out very innocent. He got the Jeep, he's all happy about it. You know, Josh loves Jeeps. I've never had a Jeep or anything like that. So I just asked Royal, hey Royal, can I drive your Jeep? And I thought, yeah, he'd say, here are the keys, take it for a little spin or whatever. He goes, no. What's the big deal, Royal? Anyway, so I got upset about it because he wouldn't let me drive that Jeep. You know, it's a total, the frame is diamond shaped, you know, it's all full of Bondo and mud, the paint doesn't match, nothing lines up with the sheet metal. I couldn't hurt the thing even if I rolled it over. So those two backstabbed me. Time to get even here a little bit.
What's the big deal? It's just a beat up old Jeep.
I think it's because Darren wants his way all the time.
Whoa, that thing, look at that thing, a gas pedal in this thing. This thing is junk.
Why'd you want to drive it so bad?
I don't want to drive it. I just wanted to drive it to see what Royal would say to ask him, you know, what a friend would do. This thing is junk, buddy. There's gas is in it. You're gonna let me steal it with no gas. Yeah, we got almost a half a tank.
We're gonna put the heater box in, and then we'll unbox the dash. So, pick that up there.
We're close.
Weird.
Hey, Royal, can you push in your left side a little more? There you go.
I think that's that's it for the heater box. We're up tight, there. Now that we got the heater box installed, I can put the dash in.
It's like a coffin for Mark.
I'm anxious to see what this one looks like. They all look good from Instrument Specialties.
Yeah, they do, man. They're like always shiny.
If I give them to Mark, would that be feeding the elephant?
Nice,
Wow.
dude. Good Lord, look at that. Whoa.
So this is for, obviously for another car. Got the dash all unpacked. Turned out it's for a Mark and Elena's Cuda, not Kimberly Cook's. After some searching and looking, we found the dash for the Cook's car. We'll be putting that in now.
Wow, man, look at that.
Nice.
That is beautiful.
Tell me what you're doing so we're on the same page. Oh, that goes down. I need that nut that goes on and holds that strap for the heater box.
Okay.
Before I forget. Can you go grab that? Sorry.
Hey, how's it going, dude?
Good, man, how are you?
Oh, not much, just cutting. What you up to? Lunch?
Nah, just grabbing some parts for Royal. We just got this dash installed, so. So the production guys got some new computers, and to be honest, I'm a little jealous. Dude, these are sweet.
Yeah, I am loving them. Oh yeah, video games. I think Nicole may have left that up, or Sam, or somebody.
Looks like I walked in at the right time, huh?
Yeah. Ah, give it a shot if you want to.
I think I'm gonna do that. Oh.
I want to do this whole thing by myself.
Putting the wing on this car, you know, it capitalizes the fact that it's a Super Bird. If all goes well, we'll be able to fire it up here shortly and have the old bird running for the first time in 40 years.
Hi, I'm Doug Farmer. I'm with Big Ass Fans, and we're here today to help Mark and the guys from Graveyard Carz solve their air movement problems and lighting problems. The foils were designed after an airplane wing, and that's the reason we can move so much air. The fans are easy to install. It takes about an hour to install one. There's redundant safety feature built into every part of every fan. They work equally well in the winter as they do in the summer. Since we were in the industrial market with our fans, we saw the need for lighting in these industrial areas, and that's where we came up with our LED fixture, especially to replace high bay metal halide lights that give off a lot of heat. The LED lights are much more efficient, and the light doesn't degrade. These fans and these lights are the perfect solution for his problem here, which was a dark building and stagnant air. His employees are going to be comfortable, and he's going to see a dramatic savings in heat in the wintertime.
So far, we got a lot of work done on our beloved 70 Plymouth Superbird. The rear plug issue has been corrected by Derek. The iconic rear spoiler with decals has been installed on the back of the car. And while we're making great headway on the Bird, we can't forget Kimberly Cook's little 70 Barracuda convertible. The transmission was assembled to OE specs by my friend Brian over at Amco. But now, with Josh suffering from ADD and Darren committing Grand Theft Auto, poor Chrome Dome is left with the task of installing the dash all by himself.
How are you? Are you gonna give us free drinks today? Lots of whipped cream, please. All right, buddy, here we go. Got some Dutch Brothers. I got Royal's Jeep, it's a sunny day. I got a few dollars in my pocket. Gas in the tank. You know, Mark is a thief. You know how to tell when Mark is lying? His lips are moving. Royal, one of the States guys are just like this, two little peas in a pod. They're both the same. They're both backstabbers. They're both thieves. They're both liars, steals, and cheats. And now Josh is in on it now. They've corrupted Josh.
This is actually a really fun game, even though I'm getting demolished.
I don't mind working by myself, but I was hoping I'd get some more help. I don't know where Josh went. Josh?
There's a guy up here with a rail gun. He's determined to kill all of us.
It's time for one nut. How long does it take to get one nut? I I don't know what happened. Doesn't take that long. Shop ain't that big.
Well, you're
Well-
welcome back anytime, bro.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, I better get out there before I get yelled at. Sometimes you gotta take a break.
You're talking about Mark never yells at you.
Oshkosh. Oshkosh by Josh. Derek needs you to give him a hand putting the accurate exhaust on the Superbird. What are you doing here?
So you want me to stop doing what I'm doing for Royal? I came in here to look
Royal
for some
shouldn't be
dust
getting
on.
you to do anything. Royal shouldn't be getting you to do anything, okay? I'm the only guy that tells you what to do. You need to go help Derek on the Superbird so you can put the accurate exhaust on it. I've got to start getting ready to put all the decals on it, okay?
Oh, hey, Royal.
What are you doing, Darren?
How you doing?
What are you doing?
Oh, I drove your Jeep.
You run all the gas out of it?
I was only going for an hour and a half.
Why did you take my car? What's the matter with yours?
Well,
Where'd you go? What'd you do?
I've been wanting one. I had to see if I liked it or not. And I don't like it.
The least you could have done is wash it.
You know, I don't want to drive anymore or anything, so, you know, it's not what I need. So you're not mad?
Well, I'm not happy, I guess. Burned up all my gas.
Well, I'll give you some gas, okay?
Well, I wish you would have asked me
All
first.
right, bottom line, by the way, that Jeep sucks. The Jeep sucks.
We got as far as we could earlier on the Superbird. We got the decals on the back half of it, got the deck lid line and the latch in. So now we're moving on to the rest of the pieces, which are put the bumper on the car, which we had to build out. That includes putting the brackets on the back of it. That includes the backup lights, the license plate light, so it's ready to go on. The lenses have been polished and clear coated. The housings have been painted white, which they were on this particular car, and the housings were detailed, so those are ready to go on. We have the emblems that call out the word Plymouth on the back. They're ready to go on. I'm going to put the front bumper decals on, which are the ones that cover the bird. That's a very meticulous job. And we got lots of little bits and pieces that we're putting on. We got the gasket, the body gasket kit from Mr. Mopar. So he makes a lot of his own stuff. This is one of the things he makes that he's pretty proud of. What I liked about theirs is you look here, there's an alignment hole. And so what that allows you to do is to be able to center the gasket perfectly on there so when it goes up against the rear body panel, it doesn't have any leaks. As soon as the glue shows up, I'll put that on there, put the gasket on there, do the other one, and then we'll walk over and we'll put the taillights in the car. While I'm waiting for them, I'll go ahead and start putting the rear emblems and nameplates on that car. So these are the first emblems I actually ordered. I didn't realize that Auto Metal Direct had these. So they're authorized by Chrysler, and they're a nice quality. And if you look, they're a good little letter. You see that the recess down in the very lower spot here is black, like it's supposed to be, and a nice chrome finish around the outer edge. This makes it a really nice little emblem. You know, the last set that we put on actually on our 70 Roadrunner, the purple one, you remember that car? Those didn't fit very well at all. And the edges of the chrome were real jagged, like from the sand casting. So I wasn't impressed with those, but these are authorized, like I say, by Chrysler. It's worth every penny of it. It's the right way to go. You'd never, ever be able to re-chrome the original letters. You'll notice that when I put these in, there's a little bit of play. This body panel is from AMD, and they're pre-punched, all the holes, which is great, just like the factory did. But like with any of them, I can put that emblem in there, and if you look, watch me kind of roll it around. See the play it has? So what I'll do is I'll get all of them started, and then I'll tighten them down as I go along and make sure that they're all level. We're moving along really well on the Superbird. We've got the back half basically buttoned up. We still have things underneath it to do, like the exhaust, but all the ornamentation, taillights, rear bumper, all the decals are on the back. Side markers are in. We are waiting for a pair of side marker lenses to go in, but that's about it. Right now I'm getting ready to do the most difficult part, which is the blackout that goes on the headlight doors and around the headlight doors. That's very unique to the Superbird. So it has to be centered just perfect. It has to be level just right. It has to be left, right, up, down, exactly where it needs to be. That's why I'm doing it. The world famous purple beep beep horn made its debut in 1968, 1969, or 1970? The answer coming up after the break. So when did the world famous purple beep beep horn make its debut? The answer is 1969. While the car was introduced in 1968, Warner Brothers had not allowed Chrysler to use the colored bird. Therefore, the bird that appears on the 68 Roadrunner is black and white. The horn is black. It wasn't until the popularity of the 68 that the 69 got the blessing to use the multicolored bird throughout the car, including a purple horn with a decal that said Voice of the Roadrunner. Visit graveyardcars.com to learn more. Royal got the dash installed in the Cook's Barracuda in spite of Josh's ability to be distracted by shiny things and Darren swiping his Jeep to go get a cup of coffee. Now we can focus on getting the front decals installed. Look at it this way. Here is the opening, right? Right here where my finger is. And then up here, it's closer to the black. So it could come up just a hair.
So some of this black is actually going to show.
Yeah, that's why we blacked it out. Yeah.
That's what you're supposed to do?
Yep. You black it out all around here like that, and that way the edges of it don't show up through it. So, man, and I just worry that stuff kicks so quick. This is one I almost think I want to be able to move around for a while, don't you? You got a big decal here, right? This is a pretty good, most decals are individual letters. This is a pretty good overall decal. And what's happening is you see the opening here in the middle for the headlight door. Well, I cut this. I didn't cut it exactly up against here because I get a little worried getting that close to it. What I gotta do is get this white backing paper off of it so I can see the black opening here, match it to this black opening here, but still make sure that it's level across the front. So if I put it on and everything looks great, and I stand back and I say, oh no, it's a little bit crooked, and this product here is a really quick product. It dries off really fast. It's beautiful, like you saw when I did the Superbird decals on the back. It's instant. I mean, 3 squeegee passes, beautiful. But something like this, I want to be able to massage it and move it around. So I'm going to make up my own solution of soapy water, which just buys me more time. It takes longer to dry, but I got a lot more time to work with it. All right, now at least can see through the crazy thing, so let's see what we got. All righty, here we go.
Whatever you, I think, can match your other one to it, nobody will know the difference. Right?
Mm-hmm. I think as long as they're put together and they match each other, the most important thing is being symmetrical and matching.
Speaking of matching, is that manifold date coded I'm getting from you?
You've already asked that question. I don't know if they are. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Your car's never going to be on the road, so it doesn't matter.
It does matter, bud. Okay. It does matter.
And don't look at me. Don't be getting mad at me. I'm not the one that took it off. Josh is the one that said you were okay with it. So you got to beef. You go with Joshy.
I don't want no more of you guys.
You took it off though, right? When I found out the exhaust manifold or exhaust manifolds were taken off my car, I knew that Mark was the culprit, but I probably figured he had Josh do it. So I asked Josh about it. Instantly he blamed Mark. He said Mark told him to do it or made him do it. But if Mark tells Josh to jump off a cliff, does he do it? You took it off.
Because
So
Mark,
you're responsible to make sure I get another one back.
you've got to be kidding me.
No, I'm not kidding.
You've got to be kidding me.
No, did you not take it off?
Okay, here's the deal. This is what happened. I came in Monday morning. Mark said, go home, go in your garage, take the exhaust manifold off of Daren'S car. You know what my initial reaction was?
Ask Darren, maybe.
I tried to call Darren and give him a heads up. He's playing the game, he won't answer my phone calls, and, you know, Mark wants me to take care of his dirty work for him. I'm not getting caught in the middle of this crap anymore. I'm sick and tired of it. Darren, I don't know. I'm taking their word for it. Okay, dude, you know what?
Did you call?
Just go get your car out of my garage. How's that sound?
Oh, why do you got to overreact?
Okay, just stop. Okay, this is what I said a little while ago is I need to be able to focus attention.
Okay.
You know, I knew this was going to be a problem from the get-go.
You know, it seems like Josh is always eager to please Mark when it comes to taking parts off my car. You can't get him to clean the shop, take out the trash, do anything like that. When it comes to taking parts off my car, he can hardly wait. And he knows I'm going to get mad about it, but when I talk to him about it, he always blames Mark. You know, why don't you do something good for Mark and maybe sign him up for Weight Watchers?
Despite Dookie Howser TP and the Commode Toad's attempt to throw me off my game, I got my decals on. They're perfect. They're lined up. They're exactly where they're supposed to be. There's no air bubbles in them. They fit the way they're supposed to. And again, despite all of their attempts to sabotage me, I was even able to get a few words in edgewise on the manifold and defend myself.
Hey, where are my new exhaust manifolds?
Watch.
Hey, you said you ordered it, Mark. It should have been here by now. Where is it?
I love a little manifold I stole from there.
Mark.
I love a little manifold.
You serious? Where is the one you ordered? Seriously.
You'll get yours back, buddy.
No, but you've heard that before, like my gas tank a couple years ago.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm not sure they have the Pentastar on. Sound pretty good, doesn't it, camera boy? You think you can do that? Nah, I don't think you should.
The engine, when it started up, sounded really good. It did have a little bit of mist to it, but the engine itself sounded really good.
With the last few exterior components installed on our beloved Plymouth Superbird, we can finally shift gears to getting the big 440 plumbed out, primered, and ready for its first splash of petrol since 1978. I always enjoy the last stages of a build, so like the interior. It's cool because everybody comes together as a group. You know, like in this case, we're putting the interior door trim panels on, both the quarters and the front doors, that armrest, the window cranks, the back seat. I mean, that's guys in kind of a confined area that have to get along in spite of the fact that they love to fight. You have to. And, you know, putting a back window in, you got to stop for a minute. Again, it's one of those important things that you got to pay attention to. Make sure you don't make a mistake on it. Again, it's like with the radiator, you got to get together and you can't be fighting at that very moment. So putting the 2998 956 radiator in place without damaging it with its brand new core is important. Again, I like these times when you're putting the car together, assembling it, the carpet and the visors and all the interior trim, seat belts, because you're working together as one unit. Right now, we're getting ready to fire up the Superbird. That means we got to top off all the fluid levels, transmission, oil, antifreeze. We're putting fuel in it. We just got a new line of fuel here from Renegade. Going to give it a try. It's 98 octane, so hopefully the engine runs like it should back in 1970. If all goes well, we'll be able to fire it up here shortly and have the old bird running for the first time in probably 40 years. The 98 octane Renegade fuel for the 70 Superbird.
You couldn't have got us some good gas?
That is good gas.
Unleaded.
We put hard seats in the car.
What am I using my lawnmower? It doesn't take unleaded.
You're not getting any free fuel for your car, or for your lawnmower, for anything else.
My motorcycle, take this and use leaded.
Why don't you just keep doing what you're good at, Nancy? I was giving Darren a little bit of crap about how he was running the pump. He seemed experienced at it. You know, it don't matter. I mean, I'm not insinuating anything. It's just, I'm just saying, I guess, for the record, that he's the official gas pumper around here, if you know what I'm saying. I mean, he was at that thing for like an hour.
You know, Mark just likes to make fun of people whenever he can. That's what he did to me earlier when I just tried to put some gas in the car. Nothing wrong with just pumping the thing, put some gas in it, right? That's what's got to be done by somebody. Just had to be me.
You screwball bastard. You told me to take it off, and then when I started to take it off, you said I'm going to make a mess.
Oh, Mark. No, just do what you want, buddy.
Well, the hose over here with the fuel, that's the kind of thing that's going to kill somebody. Huh. Why don't you just empty that into the cup?
Okay.
I know you're really smart.
No, didn't want too much fuel, but...
You're the one making a mess. Boy, look at that. That's some clear fuel.
He's gonna get
what have you done?
Well, I got to stop. It's overflowing. What do you want me to do?
Crazy, you son of a bitch. This is flammable stuff. Darren doesn't take the time to realize, I mean, he doesn't think that all he had to do was put his finger over it. But it just kept pumping into this cup, and the cup went over the top, and then a Gregorian chant starts in the background. There's flames, and it's like something from The Omen. That's the clearest fuel, though, I've ever seen. It's like water.
Usually it's got a red tint or something to it, doesn't it?
It's got that yellow, that amber look, I thought. This is clear. It's like gin.
Yeah, it was pretty clear. It looks like moonshine. Probably tastes like it, too.
Big 440 says feed me. You did connect the fuel line, right?
Yes, I did. Derek did the rear, I did the front. First thing Mark asked me was the fuel line. Asked me 3 times. I told him yes 3 times. Because I missed that a couple of times in the past. He's still rubbing it in my face.
Yeah, I'm sorry, okay? 3 times in a row, the last 3 builds, Royals left that damn intake fuel line off. 3 times in a row, we got gas puking all over the ground. 3 times. That's not an accident. 1's an accident, 2's a mistake, 3 it's intentional or you're stupid. Commit 3 felonies and see what happens. And you connected it on both ends of the hose.
And this is the 3rd time.
So it goes up to the fuel vapor separator, and it's connected there, and the line itself.
Yep,
okay.
Hit it.
Great.
Oh, hit it again.
Fire no.
Hit your starter.
Throw a rag on it. Okay, let's just real quick to be sure. I think it's really retarded right now, but let's just double check the firing order to be sure. I kind of could tell when I tried to crank it off in the beginning that the timing was backed off because that's why it was sneezing up through the carburetor and caught fire. But I've learned in the past it's a good idea just to go around and double check the firing order because if you have things off a lot, you can cause a big backfire, and a big backfire can cause bent valves, broken pistons, all kinds of problems. So why not just take a minute? I just like to be sure, because if it backfires like hell and you blow something out of it, all because you were too lazy to double check the firing order, that's the wrong reason.
You know, it was obvious the car was getting gas because you had a big fire on top of the carburetor. I believe the timing was off, and I believe that's what was wrong with the car. The timing is off again as usual. Here at Graveyard Carz, it really is reality when you go to start these engines up. Things happen. Things have been forgotten to do. Royal doesn't hook the coil wires up. There's always something wrong. We get a fuel leak or something. See all these other shows where they hit the key and the engine starts up and runs perfect. Well, that's totally wrong in the first place because you don't start the engine up and let it idle anyway. So that engine has either been started before by them or they're not doing the proper braking procedure on the car.
Puking fuel out here at the back. Got a fuel leak at the back. You know, the fuel leak on the car is not that big of a deal. You're gonna have those. You're putting a car together that's got, what, 7 different oil capacities in it? They have the potential to leak. In this particular case, the gasket that goes in between the sending unit and the fuel tank just got askew a little bit. When we put the sending unit in, we locked the lock ring down, it wasn't seating good. So that's what it was. Once we had the fuel line raised up past that point, then it would just drip out. That was an easy fix. This went like clockwork. Top off the transmission, top off the engine oil, top off the antifreeze, set the timing, hit the key, magic.
When Mark got it started, it sounded really nice. I couldn't even hear it. I was in the other room. I couldn't hear it when it started. I came back thinking I was going to get to watch it be started, and it was already running.
I'm real excited right now because to me, the biggest thing is making sure it runs and drives under its own power. So I've got 11 days before the hills will be here. That's 11 days now that I can whittle away at finishing up the little things that are left, which isn't much, that I can drive it during the day.
The engine, when it started up, sounded really good. It did have a little bit of mist to it, but the engine itself sounded really good. Oh, I think Mike Hill and his son are just going to love the car when it's done. They're going to be going back home and just going to have such a good time for the father and son. It's going to be wonderful.
Sound pretty good, doesn't it, camera boy? You think you could do that? Nah, I don't think you could.
Sounds really good.
Well, of course it does. See, because you can see my dance. That was a dance I'd actually been working on for quite a while.
Get out in a rhythm or beat. Don't hurt yourself. Easy. Stop, what do you do that for? Somebody just...
It bursts out of me like Tourette's.
Do you remember last time when Mike Hill was here, you told him you were going to be in really good shape?
Yeah. Didn't work out.
Did you just eat too much, or what's the deal, do you think?
You know, the Superbird's getting really close now. This is, again, one of the funnest parts of it. It runs phenomenal. The 440, I built it myself, of course it would. It runs better than a lot of them on the initial fire up, so I'm really excited about that. I'm really excited at the idea that we're so close to being able to fulfill this dream, this man's dream he's had, to be able to have a father and son road trip back across the country in 1970 Plymouth Superbird that we restored. But I'm not going to break out the champagne. It's not time. We haven't crossed the finish line. We have not seen the taillights down the road. When the taillights are down the road, I'll break open the champagne. I'll do one of my famous dances that have begun to go viral all over the place, probably because of some of my fluid moves. I've got some new stuff I'm doing too, fusing some new stuff together, a little bit of jazz, rap, a couple of prison moves I saw in a movie.
We are one step closer to getting the 1970 Superbird done and back to the hills. But first, Mark needs a hand from his Mo partner in crime, Tony D'Agostino. Tony wants to help Mark get more organized with his parts and make the transition to the new building easier. But Mark wants to put Tony to work. It might be too difficult when all they want to do is one-up each other with Mopar knowledge. Does Tony become more of a distraction to Mark or inspire him to get better? Will the Superbird have a successful first flight? Find out on the next episode of Graveyard Carz.